There you are, Grace. Do have a seat.
I prefer to stand, thanks.
As you like. You've certainly been busy, haven't you? Everywhere I turn, there you are. Including the reliquary.
Oh.
I'm uncertain how you got access, but even you must have realized it's off limits, particularly for your mortal friend.
Am I not supposed to be proving my innocence? Would you prefer I did nothing?
I'd prefer you didn't break any other rules in the meantime.
Such as? Do you have a list I can read, or do you just make them up as you go?
You think our judgment was rash? It was. In truth, I worried that giving you time, letting us all get to know you, would make it harder in the end. I am sorry, Grace. You may not believe it, but I care deeply. I care about what happens to you and to all the idols.
You care. About me? That's a laugh. You sit up here in your tower, and whatever humanity you might have once had, whatever wisdom, it's eroded away to nothing. The only thing you care about is making sure it doesn't all shatter. Not on your watch.
Zeus was the first to leave. King of the gods. And we don't even know what became of him. Vanished into the ether. Poseidon was next, walked out into the seas, never to be heard from again. Ares betrayed us. Hephaestus saved us. Hades was murdered, and by one of our own. The list goes on.
So you add to it. I show up and you kill me off because you can't be too careful.
We are dying, Grace. I don't mean diminishing or drifting apart. I mean our immortality is disappearing. Very soon now, the idols will be no more. We are a legacy that spans millennia, dating back to the very dawn of humankind. So yes, I care. I will do anything and everything in my power to avoid that fate, even if it appears unfair.
That's it? That's what you have to say? Sorry we're gonna kill you, but things are dire. Things are tough all over, Athena. Do you really think clamping down on your rules will make it better?
Those rules are our last line of defense against chaos, dear. I know we've put a great deal on your shoulders, Grace. I do. All I called you here to ask is that you please not make my job more difficult than it already is. If you have any other questions or concerns, now's the time to bring them up.
All right, let's talk about Medusa.
Met her, have you?
I just have to know why. Of all the people you could have working for you, why her?
We could have left her behind. I elected to bring her because, in the end, she is my responsibility. But Medusa didn't want charity. She volunteered to work in my service. It's trying at times. Now, if there isn't anything else...
What do you know of Pan?
Pan? That's not a name I expected to hear. Been sniffing around you, has he?
I have some suspicions, and I'm curious to hear your thoughts.
Pan lurks at the edges because he likes it there, seeking out whatever profit he thinks he can get away with. Avoid him, dear, or he'll stick to you like gum to the bottom of your shoe.
Okay, so you don't like Pan much. I get that. But do you think he could kill someone?
We've all killed, my dear. I was once a warrior queen, feared by mortals and gods alike.
Another idol, I mean.
Is that where your investigation has led you? To Pan?
I don't know. Maybe.
I've never thought of Pan as one who would deliberately provoke my ire. But if he saw enough profit in it, thank you, Grace. I'll add them to my list.
Who has access to the reliquary? Is it anyone with a key, or...
Doesn't matter. You gained access, so clearly it is not difficult to get. Speaking of which, I don't suppose you'll tell me who gave you that key.
Gave it to me. Athena, I had that key all along.
You what?
It's just like you thought. I used it to attack Calliopie that night. Then I brought her back home to finish her off. A mortal with a plan, baby. Stole my way into godhood. Watch me roar.
That's not funny, Grace.
What's funny is that you thought I'd tell you without getting anything in return. Speaking of the reliquary, you went there, right? Once Hecate told you what happened?
Yeah, I was not impressed by the delay.
If you had known about that, the night Calliopie died, would it have made a difference?
The chances are exceedingly small that you attacked her there, it's true. Yet, Calliopie was weakened, which made her more vulnerable prey for an enterprising mortal. One she knew. Perhaps the incidents are connected, perhaps not. I cannot afford the risk of uncertainty, Grace. I'm sorry.
I guess I'll get back to my investigation.
I am rooting for you, Grace. If there's another way to resolve this, any way at all, I will take it.
Will you? Really?
Good luck. Feel free to take a cookie on your way out.
Well, I can't say I'm surprised. Athena has always struggled in a crisis.
Well, that's a nice way of putting it.
Remember, she was a warrior. When pressed, she's always turned to that aspect, sought to maintain absolute control. It'd be hypocritical to say it's wrong of her. She's battled for me as much as for anyone.
Do you think she's telling the truth about the idols dying out?
Yes, though I find it odd she chose to tell you.
Maybe Athena thought, who'd believe Grace if she blabbed about it anyway?
Sadly, while I'd prefer to stay in her good graces, I doubt that will be possible.
Uh-oh, what now?
You may not like this, but you need to go back to the reliquary.
What for? Is there something I need to ask Hecate?
Here's the thing. We don't know why Calliopie went there, but it must have been important.
Okay, I'll bite. How would I find that out? You think she left clues?
Remember how I told you it'd be years before you got Calliopie's memories back? Well, that's true, but not entirely.
Okay.
Those memories are inside you. You go somewhere important to Calliopie or touch something special to her, you will get flashes, feelings.
Do you want Grace to go to the reliquary so she can have deja vu?
Whatever happened to Calliopie there, it ended her life. All we need to do is uncover those memories.
Last time Freddie and I were there, Hecate wouldn't let us into the reliquary. Not without Athena's permission.
Okay. Do you want to ask Athena for permission?
It just seems like a radical step. For you.
A week ago, I would have said that breaking into the reliquary couldn't be done. A week ago, I couldn't have imagined being here. My stance on a lot of things has changed. If you have another idea, however, I'm happy to go along with it.
What about the alarms? I'm not eager to have Asterion chasing me through the fog.
Calliope snuck in without setting off any alarms. At least at first.
Well, I'll be following in Calliope's footsteps, won't I? What if I follow the wrong footstep and set them off?
Then the alarms bring Asterion and Hecate, and all three of us do a great deal of apologizing.
Let's just hope that's all those alarms do.
Are you sure about this? You want me to wander around hoping something comes to me?
Am I sure? No, I'm not.
Oh, that's comforting.
What if Medusa is lying? What about Pan? We could look into him some more, couldn't we?
Oh, well, do you have a way we could look into those things without encountering even more lies?
Deja vu it is.
Let's say I do this. What am I hoping to find?
Some memory of what happened to Calliopie, even a flash. Anything that gives us something to work with.
And if that doesn't happen?
Make it happen, Grace. As if your life depends on it.
I can really see why the idols call you the cheery one.
I'm sorry, but why is she here again?
Is there really no other way? This seems a bit desperate.
I think that's kind of the point, Grace.
There isn't much time left, and I'm out of ideas that won't take more time than we have.
Well, there's always running, right? Grace leaves the city, goes on a world tour, becomes rich and famous. It's just me. Okay, then.
Right then. Back to the reliquary it is.
Any idea how you want to do this, Grace? Because I'm game to help.
Cool. I'm sure we can figure something out.
I can't go into the reliquary with you. Not without tipping off Hecate. But I won't be far. If I get the slightest sense that something has gone wrong, I am coming in. Still, promise me you won't take risks.
I'll try.
Ugh, can we just get on with this already?
Ah, so that is now.
Oh, you were expecting us?
It is written that you would come, yes.
That is so cool. I kid you not.
Yet it was also written that you would sneak into the reliquary as Calliope did, so this encounter is unanticipated.
This book of yours really isn't as accurate as you make it out to be.
The course it lays out is almost always correct. The smaller things, they are subject to free will and frequently change. However, even without the book, I do understand why you've come. Is there a reason why you believe my answer will be different now?
Didn't I make you and the Minotaur, well, happier?
You did. It is pleasant.
Isn't that worth anything?
This was true when you were here last, and yet I still considered my duty paramount.
I guess it can't be that pleasant.
My happiness is irrelevant. I am grateful for all you have done, but my purpose here cannot be so easily cast aside.
Astarion said you don't know why Calliopie was here, or what she did.
That is correct.
Don't you want to? Aren't you the least bit curious?
You could say it's your duty to find out, at least so it doesn't happen again, right?
That is an argument not entirely without merit.
Then let me try. I'll accept whatever conditions you want, Hecate. I'm begging you.
You will regret this. That is also written.
That is a yes.
Go quickly. Look, but do not touch. The reliquary stores many artifacts, some dangerous.
Got it. Okay, Grace. What the heck do you do now? Of all the times to not have Freddy around, she'd love this. First things first, how do I do this? Where do I even start? Calliope must have been here. She could have stood in this very spot. Maybe if I just focus. Yeah, it's weird. Like, I've definitely been here before. Shouldn't that be in a museum somewhere? I don't even know what language that is. They should really charge for tours. It's kind of amazing. Freddy, are you out there? Can you hear me? What am I doing? All that'll do is tell everyone where I am. Is this an armory, too? This is it. Calliope was here. She was standing right here. And she... Uh-oh. I don't suppose there's any chance you'll put those knives away. Okay, then. What's happening? Why didn't it work?
Grace?
Freddy! We've got to run! My powers don't work on them, they just keep coming!
No, I won't let you!
Freddy! Oh God. Oh God, Freddy!
Oh no. Oh, Grace.
You summoned the Furies.
What?
Those beings were the Furies, beyond all our laws. Not idols, but the embodiment of retribution. How did you draw them here?
I didn't! There was a big mirror, but I didn't even touch it!
There is only one mirror of which you could be speaking. That used by the goddess Nyx to contact the Fates. Using the mirror would not have brought the Furies down upon you. Not unless the Fates themselves decreed it.
I didn't talk to any Fates. There were figures in the mirror, but they vanished when the Furies got there.
This was no defense or spell of the reliquaries. I do not have the power to summon the Furies, and I know none who do. You should consider yourself fortunate, Grace. They do not desist until retribution has been exacted. But now is when you leave. Pray the knowledge you obtained was worth the price.
No, I'm not leaving, Freddy. Not like this. All this magic. There has to be something. Don't tell me there's no way to undo this.
We have to leave. We have to leave now. Grace, I'm sorry. I know what Freddy meant to you.
It should have been me, not her. This was my fight, my problem. I'm already slated to die if anyone paid the price.
And repeat history? Would you rather have died there, passing your eidolon onto Freddy instead? Freddy gave you a chance. Grace, is that what happened to Calliopie? Was she attacked by the Furies as you were?
Yeah. She meant to use the mirror, but she never had the chance before they came.
The Furies. Sent by the same person, I imagine.
Who could send the Furies after me? Even Hecate had no idea who possessed that kind of power.
Even in our prime, none of the idols had the Furies at our beck and call. Perhaps Zeus, but he's long gone. I honestly didn't know the Furies still existed.
Clearly someone can do it.
I mean, unless they weren't sent, unless they were responding to something else, something you'd done unwittingly. I'm sorry, I'm afraid your guess is as good as mine.
What are the Furies? They didn't seem like people.
They're not. Hecate called them embodiments of retribution, and I suppose that's the best description. They go back to, well, the time before my memory. I was once told they were created to enforce the most ancient laws.
There are ancient laws now?
Decrees one couldn't break, written in blood. Laws even idols abided by in the days of old Olympus. But those surely died with Zeus. Even if they hadn't, you can't have broken any. They're not easy to overlook.
If the Furies are so powerful, why did they stop? They just stabbed Freddy and left.
They're not assassins, Grace. They're enforcers of the old laws. I imagine they decided the debt was paid, whatever it was, when blood was spilled. The blood didn't have to be yours.
So if Freddy hadn't interfered...
Then they would have come after you. And they wouldn't have stopped until they were through. Not ever.
I know Calliopie was there to use the mirror, but it was just feeling. I still don't understand why.
Well, apparently she wanted to speak to the Fates.
Yeah, okay, but why?
The Fates are primordial beings, like the Furies. They're said to control destiny. Perhaps Calliopie wished to know her destiny. Or change it. I'm not sure.
Can these Fates really control the future?
They're tied into fate, as I am. Perhaps they're even where my power stems from, or how Hecate's books are written.
So someone really didn't want Calliopie messing with them.
Or you, apparently.
Could it have been the Fates? Maybe they don't like being called on now for anything.
I doubt it. If they didn't want to answer the mirror, I'm certain they simply wouldn't.
I don't know what to do. We still have no idea why Calliopie wanted to talk to the Fates.
Why not ask them? You too have caused quite the stir. Hecate is beside herself, and Athena is out of her mind. Well done.
How long have you been listening?
Long enough to know that you need another way to speak to the Fates, unless you're planning on trying the reliquary again.
No, not a chance. We'll find the truth on our own, Persephone.
If you sent Grace to wander about looking for Calliopie's memories, you're already out of options.
Why are you here, Persephone? You made it clear you didn't want to help me.
Oh, she doesn't. What she wants is to help herself.
May I explain it to Grace, or do you have another option, Apollo? If so, now's the time. I thought not. The Fates will respond to the ruler of Hades, the true underworld and realm of the dead. What I propose is that we go there and take back the throne that was stripped from me.
Is that something we can do? Just go to the land of the dead and, overthrow it?
Truth be told, there isn't much to overthrow. Few mortals still believe in Hades, and thus its halls have been nearly empty for eons.
So how do you...
The throne itself is the key, both symbolically and literally. Claim it, and Hades is yours.
But you can't claim it because you're barred from Hades.
By a rule that we would need to break were we to do this, yes.
So if we go to Hades and, find your throne, how much trouble would that get us into, exactly?
A great deal.
It's not as if Athena could execute Grace a second time.
But she's already been warned about breaking more rules.
The responsibility of this will be mine. Let Athena try to take my throne again.
How do we get to Hades? Do we need a key, like the reliquary?
Athena took my key, and the entrance at Lake Avernus was sealed long ago, which leaves only Hermes.
They won't take you.
They might, if you ask them to. So your promise to help Grace was an empty one? Step up, for once, and do what she needs you to do. Get us there. I'll lead us to the throne, and Grace can speak with the Fates. It's simple.
Is there really no other way to talk to these Fates? Do we have to take the nuclear option?
Do you want to try going back to the reliquary?
No. No, hell no.
The only other person with a direct connection to the Fates is Apollo here.
You know it doesn't work like that.
Then it's the throne or nothing, isn't it?
Okay. No need to keep selling me on it. I'm in.
You are?
Yeah. I need to punch something really hard. Or overthrow hell. I'm good with either of those things.
Did you see that, Apollo? You see, that is what a backbone looks like.
I can't. I'm sorry, but this is a step too far.
And consider this, Apollo. Grace's mortal friend was slain by the Furies, according to the old laws.
Her soul is in Hades.
Hold on, wait. What does that mean? If her soul is in Hades, then...
It means the ruler of Hades can release her.
That's assuming everything remained as it was. Fine. I'll get you into Hades. But I'm not going with you.
If that's what you prefer, by all means.
It's fine, Hermes. Get this over with.
Shall I wait here, or...?
No. I'm not gonna lie to them. Hermes has always treated me fairly.
Oh, hey, if it isn't Apollo and Grace and, Persephone. Wow, the whole gang, huh?
I'm afraid I have to call in that favor. I need you to take Grace and Persephone to Hades.
Oh, man, I don't know. Athena specifically said I wasn't supposed to take anyone, you know? No matter what.
Oh, this is pointless. They're never gonna help us, Apollo.
Can I ask what's going on? Nobody ever tells me anything, and you want me to get in huge trouble, but for what?
Freddie's dead, Hermes.
What? When did that happen?
She was killed by the Furies. That means she's in Hades. Probably. I have to try to find her there. You're her friend too. I know you wouldn't want to abandon her.
Okay. Signal when you need to come back.
You sure?
Yeah, feels like the right thing.
Be careful, Grace. And remember, the underworld doesn't give up its shades without a price.
I think I can tell her the rules, Apollo. Let's go.